Abortion shouldn't be something you guys take lightly, okay? Abortion should not be some form of birth control that you guys heavily rely on. All right? A lot of you guys are just busting inside of people, no birth control. They're not on birth control, don't care. And then when shit hit the fan, you just looking at the ladies like, yo, take a pill. Go to the clinic. Like, that's an incredibly physically traumatic thing for a lot of women to experience. It fucks up their hormone balance for an extended period of time. It has physical ramifications, and it messes with their psyche. If you've never had your hormones completely out of whack, you may never be able to understand. But just casually saying, yo, just take a pill, do this, just get rid of it. You guys are asking a lot. Okay? So I'm not saying that you guys can't have conversations about abortion, but the way some of you guys approach it and the way you guys talk about it so flippantly, y'all are so goddamn irresponsible about it. I don't even care if you guys get caught up having to pay child support. Y'all should be a bit more considerate of what you're asking the opposite sex to do in regards to their own body when it comes to abortion.
Talking to Abba, it really fucked me up, actually. She was really sad when I told her that we were talking in March. She was like, apparently you had told her that she was a whore for having Instagram in March. But we were having...
You don't know that whole story. You don't know what that's about. So just don't bring that up. You don't know.
January, March, you were still all the time talking to her. That's weird. If I don't want to talk to someone, I can talk to them anywhere.
You don't even understand the whole time.
But I just came on YouTube, and the first video was like, what happened? And I recognized your face from his like phone gallery and him telling me that he had a really toxic ex. And I listened to the story, and it's like, oh, you got an abortion and you were blocked? So I was like, oh, I also got an abortion and I was blocked.
Yeah, some of y'all may be a little confused as to why I've been getting that fraud and so much energy here on the platform as of late. That just means you weren't around a couple months back when me and this clown was going back and forth, right? And I don't want to get anything misconstrued as far as why I have issues with Brody. And like I said before, had I not had my own issues with Abba, I'd still be covering this, dog. Right? That deadbeat shit. And the sadder part is that you have so many people out here justifying a man condemning an innocent child due to the acts of a mother, bro. That is the most deadbeat, pitiful, weak jazz, right? You literally have a plethora of men in the comments justifying that. That's crazy. That's crazy, especially considering the amount of bullshit men go through dealing with dumbass baby mamas for the sake of their child. You know what I mean? Y'all motherfuckers must not be fathers, bro. Must not be fathers, bro. Right? That's what bothers me the most about all this shit. It bothers me more than my own disdain for Abba is that we are here right now dealing with some more evil shit, bro. When you have numerous men out here justifying a man's attempt to condemn the fruit of his own loins because he don't fuck with the person he chose to inseminate, right? The utmost lack of accountability, bro. Cause, you know, big picture, bro, all this bickering back and forth between Shouty and Abba is irrelevant to that, right? Cause that child is innocent in this relationship, especially considering the one Abba who was out here grandstanding for, you know, all the starving children out here in society, right? You know, the government should step up and pay for children's meals for free. And in the same breath, you got a motherfucker saying that child will never know me. He will never see my face. He will never know I exist because he comes from you. And it was more evil than that. It was more sadistic than that.
I want nothing from you. I don't want anything to the child. I don't want anything from you. I don't want anything. I will never want to learn a damn thing about anything involving us.
But why don't you want anything to do with the baby?
Because you're the mother. You always ignore when I tell you I don't want to talk to you, and then you just keep reaching out to
Because
me.
I'm
You
pregnant
don't
and we need
understand
to
the idea
figure
of
this
boundaries.
out. I'm pregnant and we need to figure it
I'm
out.
pregnant, whatever. I don't care. That's your problem. That's your responsibility now. You
So-
cut me out of it. Cool.
So I'm
That's your
harassing you. I'm telling my friends, hey, Abba, unblock you because I need to talk to you about the baby.
What do you do with the baby? I don't care. I want you gone. Even if it means I don't get to be in my child's life, it's a great thing because it means you're gone. You're the horrible.
And you got these motherfuckers out here applauding this shit, bro. Applauding this shit, dog. That shit is... It's dark, bro. It's dark, man. Right? Just me being a father, bro. It's like, it don't matter what the hell a woman does to me. There's not going to be anything that is going to keep me from having my influence on my child, to prevent my child from knowing who his father is, to prevent me from getting my child ready for this world, bro. And we talking about condemning a child because of the acts of his mother. For the acts of his mother. And then on top of the fact, this is the Abba we talking about. Right? This is the Abba we talking about, bro. Virtue signaling, moral high ground, integrity, this, calling everybody out on their downfalls or whatever narrative he's trying to paint to make their downfall seem to be. You know what I mean? Just had to get that shit out there. But then outside of that, I do have my personal issues, my personal vendetta with Abba. Fuck Abba, bro. Right? Because even with however people perceive me in regards to, you know, my thoughts or my viewpoints or my perspectives, bruh, I ain't never been no bitch. I ain't never been no fraud. I ain't never been no liar. I practice what I preach. You know what I mean? I practice what I preach. I'm not out here selling no facade, faking the funk for views or for what these other bitches do. You know what I'm saying? It pays to pander. I can never pander. Hence why I get in a lot of the trouble that I do, because I'm going to say how I feel. And I'm going to say how I truly feel, bro. And hence now you got a motherfucker that clearly does not say anything that he feels. He just tells y'all what he wants y'all to hear and manipulates the fuck out of narratives, man. Right? In the same way he was manipulating narratives with me, the same way he's manipulating narratives with Shouty. You know what I mean? And I find it funny too, bro. It's like, you know, I've seen Myron's response to Abba and shit, and, you know, just channel to channel, I haven't had the most nice things to say about what's going on over there in Fresh and Fit, whatever, man. But the one thing he and I do have in common is that we know the truth about this motherfucker, that he is not who he claims to be. And people still out here swallowing the bullshit that this man puts out, bro. I need to wake the fuck up, because you're getting played. You're getting played. You know what I mean? Bro did the same shit with me, manipulating narratives with me. I mean, I remember. Y'all can go back in the crates and see the videos he posted trying to depict me as some, you know, person that hates blackness. All I do was talk down on black people, bro. Pulling like the 5 or 10 videos I may have held the black community accountable, but then forgot to include the thousands of other videos that I called out other groups. You know what I mean? And motherfuckers buy it, bro. Right? You don't gotta agree with me. You ain't gotta fucking like me. I can give 2 fucks about how people feel about me, bro. But you gotta call a fucking spade a spade. You know what I mean? And Mr. Abba, Mr. Accountability, Mr. Calling a motherfucker out, time for him to feel the same fire, bro. You know what I'm saying? The tides have turned. You know what I'm saying? Super Uno reverse, bro. So with all that, you know what I mean? I told y'all already. I reached out to Shawty. You feel me? We got a little interview going on, and for real, dog. Like, even though I don't fuck with Abba in any capacity, bro, I seen the stream, right? And outside of my personal issues with the whole deadbeat situation, man, there was a bunch of fucking holes in her story based on what the hell Abba said in this stream, right? So I got Shawty on the Libby on the call, and I addressed those holes. You know what I'm saying? Right? The abortion, the blackmail, the cheating, you know what I'm saying, the harassing, you know, all the shit that he addressed, all the shit he tried to paint, right? So, you know, we get to it, man. So, enjoy. One more thing, bro. You know, the black power, motherfucker, blackity black power, right? Out here just slinging all types of seed and all types of white queens, Asian queens, not a black queen to be seen. Ain't that about it, bitch? Ain't that about it, bitch, bro? Fraud. First off, why are you even doing this? Why come out and say all this shit now?
Honestly, the reason why I'm doing this is because I did feel like I experienced something with Abba that wasn't right. And was it my job to put it out publicly? Maybe not, but I didn't feel right walking away like nothing ever happened. And honestly, I felt like I just needed to speak what my truth was about the experience I had. And that's really all that it is.
What's your intention with it, though? Well, like, what are you looking to gain from all of this?
The most honest answer to this is I didn't feel right walking away, experiencing all this stuff that I had with Abba, especially with my last interaction with him. I felt like I endured a lot in this relationship, and I had to say something. As long as some people left more clearly with the truth, I was okay with that.
And what's the truth, though?
Abba is a completely different person behind the scenes in relationships, and it's so opposite from who he is in what he portrays online. And it affected me so much where I felt like something deserved to be spoken about.
Can you prove that you're pregnant? I know the answer to that. I know the answer to that because but I already know what they're gonna think, bro. But I asked her that already, and she sent me proof. I can show y'all. It's a screen recording of what is it, like your Kaiser? What is it?
Yeah, it's a direct screenshot from my Kaiser app, and Kaiser is a hospital here in the States.
Yeah. All right. Here it is. Going down to our hospital visits, and boom, January 22nd, 2026, surgical H&P note. Got her full name blinked out. 33-year-old female here for the following procedure: suction, curettage, first trimester, termination of pregnancy. January 23rd, 2026. Did you lose your job, and are you just clout chasing right now for money, trying to build a social media following?
No, I never quit my job. I think you're referring to the traveling, right? Like people saying,
Yeah.
I think what people said, I'm traveling. No, when Abba said that on his stream, he said something like, she quit her job and she's traveling. I'm doing traveling healthcare now, and every healthcare worker knows what that is. I am not traveling as leisure. I'm doing traveling healthcare.
So are you hoping to get some, big social media presence or social media following off of this?
No, not at all. I don't think I don't think I'm benefiting from that at all. I think I didn't go in here looking for any of that. Honestly, again, I came here looking to explain my experience and share my truth. And I didn't even want my Instagram and my two Instagrams up there. Abba is the one who put it up there.
Yeah. You shared your desktop, man. That shit looked crazy. You had all this stuff, and it made it seem like you had a full-blown investigation on Abba. So had you been plotting on him the whole time? Like,
yeah, I wasn't ashamed to show the desktop at all. If I was trying to do something that crazy, I would have probably felt the need to hide it. The receipts are there because I needed to have access to them right away. I'm not a YouTuber. I don't know how to like pull up things fast. And the easiest way is just to have it on your desktop. And I don't know what the problem is. Abba actually commented on my my video yesterday, and he was like, "You have all these receipts on your screen," but he's literally called the king of receipts. I wasn't planning this for a long time.
yeah, when did
Like
you
I said,
start trying to obtain evidence against bro?
yeah, the catalyst to me wanting to come out in the first place was our last interaction. Our last interaction was April 10th, and I have proof of that. If
And y'all
anyone
started
needs to see
talking when?
that.
Y'all started talking when?
We started talking July, in the middle of July.
Okay, so it had been a few months.
Yeah, so the middle of July, and then, you know, the good 5 months until I was pregnant, and then we didn't talk for the month of January, and then we tried to see what was going on until March, and then he reached out to me on April, which was the reason why I decided to do any of this. Is I can't believe how he circled back, treating me the same way that he usually does. And that's when I felt like I had to say something. And then even after a few weeks after that, I was thinking if this is something I wanted to come forth with in the first place, or at all. And I did. So it was probably 2 weeks after my last interaction with Abba.
Was that phone call?
No, the phone call was when I was pregnant, and it was the night after the breakup. The last interaction we had was I woke up to a stream of messages calling me a whore, calling me a slut, calling me a cheater, calling me a pathological liar, just like the same tone that he always uses. And I just couldn't believe that once again, after trying so hard to end things with mutual respect and end things the right way and peacefully, which is really hard to do with Abba, he would come back and treat me the same way that he always does. And
you're referring to after you find out about the Instagram account, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that in a minute because I got questions about that.
Oh,
but I'm just trying to get a timeline because it looks like you just from your desktop, it looks like you've been trying to set up bro for a minute because of all that stuff on your desktop. So I'm trying to get a timeline of when that started. Y'all was talking for 8 months. How far into it did you start building the case on, bro?
It was just honestly, it was just a few weeks before the first video I ever made. And I knew I had to like come out with things quickly. And I just have it on there. I didn't care about how it looked. I needed to have it on the desktop. And
yeah, but I don't think the concern is how it looked. I don't think the concern is like how it looked. I guess it is, but it looks like you were trying to set bro up.
Plotting this.
Yeah, it looks like you've been plotting this for a minute.
No. Yeah, I have a message of Abba. Abba actually contacted me before his stream, and he was saying whatever he says when he gets upset. And I said, Abba, the last time you treated me was so unfair. You know that I would have never done any of this, but that was the catalyst. And then he responded to me like, yeah, I know you're hurt. And yeah, it does mention in there that it was the last time we had spoken.
All right, so pretty much you didn't start building the case on bro till the latter end of the 8 months y'all was dealing with each other.
Yeah, it was just 2 weeks before the first video ever came out. 2 to 3 weeks, maybe. Yeah,
So like
April 10th
it's like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. Because our
Yeah.
last interaction was April 10th, and that was like really the catalyst.
All right. Abba says you've been harassing him for the longest. So were you harassing him? Why were you harassing him if you were harassing him? You know, how long was you doing it for? And, you know, he said you contacted, you know, him, his job, his family, you know, for forever. Like, what's your response to all that?
Yeah, that was the biggest thing on his stream that really painted a picture about me. And he said that I was contacting his friends, his family, and his people. And the only thing I can say to this is he was able to provide proof for all the things he wanted to provide proof for, but he wasn't able to provide anything of me contacting his friends, his family, or his people, other than Preach, which was January 13th, and the Ab and Preach page, which I showed on my video, and the 4 messages or the 4 phone numbers that he had, and I was trying to contact. Abba cannot prove that I've ever tried to contact his friends, family, or people, and I welcome him to. But why wasn't he able to pull that up? It's because he can't. He really wants to paint this narrative that I'm like this crazy stalker person, but he won't be able to provide any of that proof. And yeah, I think that's important for people to know is how come he hasn't provided proof for that.
Yeah, he posted that screenshot of like 4 text messages from 4 different numbers implying that you were trying to stalk him, contact him from 4 different numbers. Right. How long? So
yeah,
can you provide the details about that? And then for how long of a time span were you trying to stalk him?
what he's talking about is just that one night. I guess the 2 nights. So the 4 times I tried to call him through those 4 numbers, or when my friends tried to get a hold of him, was the night of the breakup, because I was like, hey, he's blocking me, I'm pregnant. And then when I tried to contact the Ab and Preach page, which was the same night, and then when I tried to contact Preach, which was 3 days later. There wasn't any other time I ever tried to contact his friends, family, or people. When Abba lashes out, he will exaggerate and kind of distort the insult as an attack, and just to like provoke you. And I have something here that I want to show you that people are also questioning me about quite a bit.
All right.
Is that okay, Stevie?
Yeah. How many different ways from different numbers, different people did you try to contact him? Because he made it seem like you were reaching out to everybody for like months at a time.
Yeah, and I would like him to show proof of that. The only time I tried to contact him during that period of time is that night, which were the 4 phone numbers. And I think my cousin also again tried to contact him the next day, which was one of the same phone numbers. And the Ab and Preach page and Preach 3 days later. But there wasn't any other time that I tried to contact him. I'm going to be honest, when he blocks me.
2 days?
2 days, yeah. And he's making
Why
it sound
were you trying to
like
contact them so much?
because he blocked me and I was pregnant. And
is this the
I
night?
felt like
Is that the night like before or after that phone call?
The phone call was, if I'm remembering the timeline, when it was, that phone call was whenever I contacted the Abba and Preach page, because he called me on that phone call right after I contacted the Abba and Preach page, which was either the day of the breakup or the day
All
after.
right, so it's within that time span of that fucking crazy phone call.
Yeah, that's it. And I do want to mention something too. When Abba and I fight personally, I do use like my Google Voice number to try to get a hold of him through like different numbers to get a hold of him when he blocks me. But
When
I've
he
never
blocks
tried to contact when he blocks me. This is like our normal fighting, and blocking is toxic. Me trying to contact him through my Google Voice number, through that number, you know, that probably doesn't look
Yeah.
good on me also. But I have never ever tried to contact his family, his friends, or his people other than what he provided, which was Preach, the Abra and Preach page, which I provided, and those 4 phone numbers. And that's it. And the reason why he was only able to show that was because that was the only time that I did that. And this is a big question too that people keep asking about.
All right.
And I do want to show. Okay, so this right here, everyone is also questioning. So this is when Abba decides to contact me February 4th, and everyone is questioning everything that he's saying here. Why am I saying that I'm Abba's partner when he's saying that you're not my partner? He's saying days after your behavior, this hasn't ceased. He's saying that I'm contacting him, my blackmailing tactics, and other nonsense. And when people paused it, they were like, yeah, she seems crazy.
Oh yeah, I remember.
So
I read this. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the reason why Abba keeps responding is because when he gets mad, he tries to provoke you. And so because I don't respond here, Preach just sent me this right now. You sent him this after our chat. So remember, these messages are from January 13th. And so he's like, why are you trying to contact my people and say I'm your girlfriend? And it's weird because he's only talking about, he just found out about these messages the day before. Preach showed him the messages the day before because I guess Preach, when Preach reached out to Abba saying like, hey, your girl hit me up on January 13, he was like, I got it taken care of. And so Preach just left it alone, but he actually
Abba told Preach he had it taken care of.
Yeah, Abba didn't realize that he was talking about these messages. And so I guess as time went by, Preach was like, oh, do you want to see the messages that she ended up writing you? And then that's when he reaches out to me. And then that's why he's like, he's like, why are you messaging people saying you're my partner? It's because of this. Hi, Preach, I'm Abba's girlfriend. I'm sorry to be introduced to you under these circumstances. I'm seeking help. I know you'll have to let Abba know and reach out to you eventually. If you do, would you please do this after I show you a few things first? That's the reason why he's saying it, is because he saw the messages. And again, when Abba lashes out, he will just say anything to get you upset. And because I'm not responding, he's just writing all of these things. And again, you guys are not going to take, or the audience is not going to take my word for it, but he cannot prove that I contacted him or any of his people from January 13th, which is when I tried to contact Preach, and from this point on. He won't be able to. And so the way he talks is like...
So you're saying that his whole harassing label he's giving you is just based on the time to try to contact him between January 13th and 12th, and that's it?
Yeah, but that's how he talks. When he lashes out, he'll just say anything. And that's why I was like, I'm not going to engage in this type of communication, Abba. And then he gets more upset. And then it just riles up. And I said, I've left you alone since I reached out to Preach a month ago, which was true. And he says, no, you haven't. I've been receiving calls still. This is him trying to provoke me. If he has evidence of that, well, I guess you wouldn't really know it's me. But Oh, he's saying that I'm trying to contact his friends and his family, right? Yeah, I didn't at all. I was actually so shocked by that phone call. I was like, I'm never going to contact this guy again. It was pretty
So when
hurtful.
when he says he's been receiving calls, you're saying he's lying?
He's trying to provoke me and trying to say all these things. If he's lying and saying all these things up here, he's just saying anything at this point. And this is how Abba fights. And I tried to post messages showing that this is how Abba communicates when he's angry. But it's so convincing on the other person's end, but this is how Abba fights. And that's why I'm saying, are you curating messages? Excuse me, my throat's dry. Are you curating these messages? I've never called you. I said, I don't have to. I just asked for one thing. How do we sever? And you want to play games. I did nothing for a month while you keep doing your criminal behavior, contacting my people. Abba, if you have proof of this, please provide it. Like I said, when Abba gets upset, he just lashes out and says anything. And you can kind of refer to the phone call on how he fights back. That phone call, people keep saying like, I pushed him that point. I push him to that point. But that's Abba's normal way of getting upset and getting mad, which was one of the reasons why I decided I wanted to leave the pregnancy. And then I respond, I left you alone since my last contact with Preach, which was January 13th. You didn't want anything to do with the baby. I said, okay. I said, I won't engage with this communication, Abba, because I know how he responds. And I'm not going to engage with him. And then I even say, I have no hate in my heart. I have no bitterness. I left you alone. Well, you're calling me from random American numbers. And that's what you wanted. You didn't want anything to do with the baby, having your friends do it. I guess me reading it is actually doesn't prove anything. What needs to happen is Abba providing proof that I'm contacting his friends, his family, that I blackmail him. I actually never tried to contact his friends or family at all. And it's easy for him to say that because he's just good at saying stuff like that. He's very good at what he does. He's very good at talking, and he's very convincing. But yeah, I've never, he can't provide proof for any of these things.
So basically, when he calls you a stalker, it's just to make you look crazy because you didn't stalk shit.
Yeah, that's the way he argues, that's the way he fights, that's the way he attacks. And if you look at the other messages that, I'll probably show here, you'll see a trend on how he has overwhelming responses, and he gets petty, and he gets to a point of like, all he wants to do is provoke you, so he will say all of these things. So that's what that is. And again, no one's going to take my word for it. But if Abba had proof for this,
ask him to provide proof of you being a stalker for real, outside of those text messages he screenshotted.
Yeah, and what he might do is he might pull up the other numbers that I've used when him and I are fighting, but they won't be the dates of January 13th to February 14th. It's like other times where we've fought and we were both being a certain way, which doesn't look good on both of us. But I've never tried to contact his friends, family, or people. I've never done that before.
All right, man. Abba said that you canceled like 9 abortions. All right. I think he said 9. How many times you cancel abortions?
Yeah. Again, it's saying that people are saying that I've canceled 9 abortions.
He said,
did
he say 9? I think he said 9. He said 9, right?
Well, there's 2 things. One, he keeps saying I created like 9 accounts to talk to him. Again, that's him exaggerating that night, or I think it was the next day. And I was trying to contact him through those phone numbers and I think I tried to contact him through Facebook also, but it was still within that time. And again, I'm pregnant, and it's within 2 days of me just trying to reach him. And then even in the phone call, you just hear him saying like, I'm harassing him, I'm stalking, and I'm a parasite. But that's how he argues, and that's like that's just what he says when he fights.
One more time. So basically, all the harassment he's referring to happened within 2 days, like in reality. But
Yeah,
what he's implying is that you did this shit for a long period of time.
for my yeah, and I
All right.
need him to provide proof for that,
All right.
because that's not the truth.
Yeah.
The 9 abortions, yeah. So he's talking about the 9 accounts. The abortions. Did you still want to know the answer for that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. When he talks, everything is really exaggerated. I had the 4 abortion appointments total, right, which was the one he came to, and then the 2 after that, and then the one after Montreal. It was either 3 or 4. I know it was like either 3 or 4. To be honest, I don't remember at the time, but it was either 3 or 4. I know that there was the one he came to, and then there was an abortion appointment in between, and then one after. But it wasn't 9, and it was all within like that month because I was trying to decide what to do. Is it a lot still? Yes, but I'm confused. I'm trying to figure it out, and I didn't want to get the abortion. I was conflicted, and it was.
Yeah, why did you keep going?
Cool.
Why did you keep flip-flopping? Because keep it a bean. You know, I don't fuck with Abba, but I placed myself in his situation right then and there. You know what I mean? And you said initially that he wanted the baby, but so you really had him on this, like, you know, seesaw effect. Like, if you're gonna have this baby, we're not gonna have this baby. So I can imagine that emotional toll on bro. So why the flip-flop so much?
Yeah, I honestly empathize with him here. And the only thing I can say is I saw how he was reacting to the whole thing, and I felt something about.
When you say reacting to the whole thing, what are you referring to?
Ask me one more time.
When you say you just said I saw how Abba was reacting to the whole thing. When you say the whole thing, what are you referring to?
Yeah. So to be honest to that question, I kept going back and forth because I did see how much Abba was wanting the baby, and I empathized with that. And I also was thinking about the conflicting feelings I had with, is this the person for me? With how much we're fighting and all the other incompatibilities.
Before you get into that, why did you want to have because you suggested the abortion first, right? It came from you. Why did you want to have the abortion in the first place? Why did you even come up with that idea?
Yeah, the only answer to this is just my human response. And when we first decided to have the baby, when I first found out I was pregnant, I thought, okay, like this is going to be okay to go forward with. And after time went by, I was like, wait a minute, this is kind of really too soon. And I'm seeing all of these things in ABBA where I'm like, I don't think this is sustainable for a relationship or a partnership with, sorry, for parenting. And so, to be honest, I thought the abortion would be kind of like the easier thing to do to keep the relationship going.
I thought that you were getting the abortion because you didn't fuck with Abba. But truth of the matter is it you got the abortion, you were considering the abortion because it was too soon in the relationship, or was it because you saw incompatibilities with Abba in conjunction with it being too soon in a relationship?
Yeah, when I first got pregnant, I was like, I think it'll be okay to move forward, but I was still vetting ABBA. I was still trying to see, there were still doubts. Around the 4th month mark, I started to see those incompatibilities. And then ironically, I was like, oh, I'm also pregnant now. I still thought that those incompatibilities would kind of go away over time, but they just kept growing. And then that's when I was like, I don't know if this is a good idea. And that's what the truth is.
Why did you tell Abba you were going to keep the baby? Well, hold on. Let me go back, because, you know, Bro explained it. He's like, I was on this fucking seesaw. One day she wants the baby, one day she doesn't want the baby, one day she wants the baby, other day she doesn't want the baby, but I want the fucking baby, right? He really hit on this shit, and then it gets to a point where, you know, y'all are at the tail end of it, and having the abortion was your idea initially, but then y'all get to the point where you break up with him, but now you want to keep the baby. Make that make sense.
Yeah. Again, I empathized with Abba at the time. This is how complicated it was for me. I was thinking about 4 months in, I'm thinking about this guy that I'm possibly going to be committed to and forever and parenting with. And then I'm also thinking about how much I'm feeling that this is not a good idea because of all the incompatibilities I'm seeing, and examples of that were from the leaked phone call and more. And then I'm also thinking about the baby's life, which I knew I didn't want to abort in the first place. But again, that's why I kept going back and forth. The only real thing I can say to that is I was just feeling everything I was feeling, and I was considering Abba, I was considering the baby, and I had to be honest with myself. And trying to weigh that all out was making me go back and forth, because I know that Abba wanted the baby, but I know that if I continue to go forward with it and have the baby, then he's going to have this full sense of family when I'm having all of these doubts. And why would I give him like this false sense of family when if I say yes to this, then I would be moving out to Montreal. We're going to start this family, but I'm already seeing these heavy incompatibilities. And
You dig into it though. Like, what was it about Abba that
I guess
made you think that?
that's what Abba, honestly, it's his rage when we're fighting. Every time we fought, it was exactly like what you saw on the phone. And so on the phone call, remove the context of the pregnancy, and people think I'm like pushing him there. That's not a one-off for Abba. Abba acted like that all the time. And when he didn't get what he wanted or requested, he would act a certain way that was scary. And again, remove the context out of the video from the leaked video. He goes straight to the mocking, the ridiculing. If I'm crying in a situation, he would act like I deserved it, or he would mock me and say stuff like, oh, well, like you deserve to be crying right now. When I say it was like emotion, you can hear that in the phone call. There's a point where I'm crying and he's like, oh, well, I don't know if you remember that part in the phone call. Do you remember? He's like mocking me while
Abba, I have a question though, because if this was Abba all the time, what made you, why didn't you record a conversation before? What was it about that conversation that made you record?
Because it was about the pregnancy. And I thought the pregnancy was a pretty significant moment.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You couldn't believe that he was saying the shit about the child.
Yeah. He acted like that, especially in Montreal. And in my video, I say that that was definitely a turning point for me, because I'm like, oh, this is actually who Abba is. And I saw glimpses of it before, and I saw glimpses of it afterwards also, after we reconnected, and it got worse actually over time. But yeah, there were other like lifestyle incompatibilities, like Abba likes to play video games a lot, and he like doesn't go to sleep. Like, just okay, that sounds really silly, but it was just like a lot of small things that were like,
I mean, it is what it is. Like, y'all weren't compatible. Like, nobody's to judge what you feel, what you deem as incompatible. And then I remember him said in the stream that the things that you would say to him, he thought were silly, but you know, to each his own.
Yeah, over time, I felt like they do seem small, like the lifestyle things I just said. Like, he plays like a lot of video games, and he doesn't go to bed until like 6 a.m. in the morning, and I go to bed really early. So that was like a thing with us, and I'm like, oh, we're actually really different in smaller ways.
Yeah, but playing video games and going to sleep is not Like you were considering aborting a baby because of that. So it has to be more than that.
No. And that's what I'm only adding to the main thing, which was the big thing, which was how he handled himself under pressure. And
Or
I
like
felt
when you were
like,
getting raised and like, you know,
yeah, and I think that's
disrespect.
enough. Honestly, 4 months in, seeing how much that happened and seeing how overwhelming it can be, I was like, it doesn't feel very safe here. And if I move over there in Montreal or move over there to Montreal, it will continue to be like this.
What was the main thing? What was your main issue with him? The rage?
The rage, yeah. I felt like he was emotionally and mentally abusive. And um, he would say things like, I did mention this in the video that I made yesterday, but, people are not really hearing it out. Abba would really he would really weaponize your vulnerabilities. He knows that my mom used to beat me or like hit me until my nose bled, and he would take that and he would say like, oh, you're going to be worse than the mom who raised you, or you're going to be, oh, like it's weird that you turned out worse than your mom. I have those screenshots here if you want me to pull that up, but it was stuff like that. And even after the baby, you saw a lot of that too. He would always remind me that I killed the baby. And he knew how wounded and how hurt I was about it. But he will use anything to make sure that you're in pain, as almost as if he's like satisfied by it. I do want to mention one other thing too. There was a video he made years ago about this girl spending the night over his house. He recorded the phone call, and one of the things she said was, oh, this is why your dad left you or abandoned you. And I think his dad already had died at that point. And Abba made a whole video about that, saying you should never go to that point. But Abba always said stuff like that to me. So I just think it's so interesting. And I felt like he was very cruel during those times. And I was dealing with that with smaller fights and bigger fights. And then Montreal was a big fight too, where he had kicked me out of his house and I'm pregnant. And I was like stuck
What
out
did he
in
kick you
Montreal.
out? What did he kick you out the house for?
Yeah, so during that visit, Abba was playing video games for 3 days, and I don't see him very much. And
You said he played video games for 3 days?
for 3 days, he was on his computer for 3 days, and
What is
he
that? What do
wouldn't
you
even go.
mean? What do you mean 3 days? Like he's on in
He's on
front
the
of the
computer.
computer for 12 hours at a time?
He would play video games, and then he would work a little bit, and then he would play more video games, and then we would get something to eat, and then he would play more video games, and then I'm there on my phone, and I'm trying to be like a good girlfriend and kind of like letting him do his thing. But after 3 days, I'm going to be like, hey, your
So you
girlfriend's
should have
over
said that
here.
shit before. You should have said that shit before. Like that makes more sense, at least to me, for incompatibility. Like bro playing video games is entirely different for a motherfucker playing video games for 3 days straight. Like that makes sense.
Yeah, that was one of the things. And he also makes comment about like other girls a lot, which we talked about like boundaries and everything like that. And then he made another comment about like girls being hot in Spain and just something like that. And
He
I
would
was
talk
like,
about how attractive other girls were in front of you.
yeah, he was like, I went to Spain and like Spain has the hottest people. And he was like, the women in Spain are like really hot. And we had talked about this before, and it was just like on top of the video games, on top of like me trying to just work with him and like be a good girlfriend and just hang out outside of the room so he can play his games. And then he says stuff like this. And then I get upset and then I leave the house and then I come back. But I do pack my things because I'm like, I'm gonna go somewhere else. But I do come back, and I was just like a little angry, so I went to the coffee shop next door. I do come back, and he gets so upset with me. We start fighting again,
What did he
and
get
I was
upset
trying
with
to,
you for? Because was it a coffee shop?
because I left, yeah. And he got so upset, and I was trying to explain to him why I was upset, and he just wouldn't hear it. He didn't understand why I was upset or mad. And when when things would escalate, I'm trying to explain it to him. He's like, no, you left, you need to get out the house. And I'm trying to tell him, like, why don't you see why I left in the first place? And then it would rile up, and then I start crying. And then he does the whole mocking and yelling and screaming thing. And he will literally see you cry, and he will literally look satisfied in you crying. And I know that's hard to imagine, but like, just refer
It
to
ain't
the
hard for
phone.
me to imagine after hearing that goddamn phone call. So
Yeah, so the phone call is just like a preview to what I experienced a lot with him personally. And I don't know, I feel like that's enough to know that that it will only get worse, and that doesn't make you feel like you're in a really safe spot to raise a child in with.
let me ask you this, because after all things you said, to me it sounds like you were considering having the baby for Abba's sake, but for what you saw in Abba, you didn't feel like that was a safe environment for you to bring a baby in. Is that a fair assessment?
I was thinking that maybe both of us can have it. Even if I was having doubts, I was like, okay, maybe things can still move forward. And I'm just gonna wait it out. And then things
Wait,
still
what out?
happen. I was still gonna see if things were going to work out. Or I decided to go forward because I didn't think things were that bad, but I saw it actually get worse. I did have my doubts, but it was really getting bad. And I saw this pattern of his rage and his anger. And if he doesn't have things a certain way, he does react. I'm just going to say it, he acts very scary and cruel, and it does look like he likes to see you in pain in the moments when we're fighting. And when we get into disagreements and conflicts. Did I not answer the question?
No, you answered it. I was just sitting here processing it because I was applying that to that conversation. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like he didn't have his way in regards to but I don't want to sound biased though. But it is what it is. It sounds like that, since he wasn't able to have a child under the terms he wanted to, is why he just went
Yeah.
Schizo on you.
Yeah, but that's what you'll see in his blocking too. If you don't respond the way he wants, or if you don't act the way he wants, he will just block you.
Yeah.
And then you saw how often he blocked me. It was just like,
but in the stream, he says that he blocked you because you came at him so many different ways through so many different fucking numbers, hence why he needed to block you so much, because he was blocking all these different ways you're trying to contact him through the harassment.
no,
That's what he said in the stream. Remember
yeah,
that?
I know that's what he said on the stream. Again, everything's being fluffed. So the text messages I show on my video are before the pregnancy. So how can that be? And how can that be from that entire period? He was blocking my regular number because we would get into fights, and anytime something would happen, he would just block me. But it had nothing to do with that night. What he was saying with those phone numbers had everything to do with the night I tried to contact him when he blocked me during the pregnancy. But everything I showed you before was just our regular fights.
Yeah. All right, moving right along. Abba depicted you as this, really religious person. So I see that you're really religious, but like you were the one that was gun ho about the abortion. So,
yeah, I'm not really religious at all. After the abortion, I did try to like turn to faith more because it did really affect me. But again, everything
he
that he's
portrayed
saying,
you as a super religious girl, and then you in your video as well. You said that I don't know if you said if you were religious, but like
yeah, he said that I'm like this super Christian girl. He did it exactly like that. I was never super Christian. I am Christian. I became more involved with faith after the abortion, but no, I wasn't. And I don't think even after that I was very super Christian at all.
So
Everything he
throughout your
was saying.
dealings, so throughout your dealings with Abba, you weren't some super Christian girl. Because if that's the case, it makes you look crazy being the one that, like, you know, suggested abortion initially. That shit made no sense to me, right? But
Yeah, and this is what I wanted to point out. In the stream, he does a lot of exaggerating. He exaggerated that I was like super Christian, and then he exaggerated about me contacting people, which he has no proof of. And then he exaggerated on, I think so far that's all we've talked about. But
why would he
yeah,
say you're so super Christian though? What was it about you that he would?
the only thing I can say about that is he will just use anything about you to hurt you. So he knows I'm a Christian, so he's gonna be like, oh, like you're super Christian. Like he's petty like that. I don't think he can prove that I was super Christian at all, or like I don't think there's anything on my
You go to church every
Instagram.
Sunday?
I'm sorry?
You go to church every Sunday?
Uh right now I probably attend church like every other Sunday, but I don't go every Sunday.
Well, how often were you going when you was with him?
I wasn't going at all with him.
Mm.
I went a few times after the abortion, but I never went to church when I was with him.
Mm. All right.
Yeah, I was not a super Christian at all.
Blackmail. He says that over and over and over again. I mean, to me, it seems like that's really his sole reason for, talking to you the way he's talking to you, the harassment and the blackmail. You're trying to blackmail. You're trying to blackmail me. How
Yeah.
were you trying to blackmail him? From what I saw, it looked like you had a message loaded up to send to Myron to, show
Yeah.
how Abba really is. Right.
Yeah, and
That's
then
what I know, but explain all
yeah,
that.
and then in his messages and in his stream, he just said I kept on trying to blackmail him. He has no other proof I was trying to blackmail him other than that night. And then people think, well, you still tried to blackmail him. The only thing that I can say about that is I'm in my first trimester. Your first trimester is actually the worst trimester hormonally. And, we were going through this back and forth. I was going through this back and forth, and I was just trying to make the right decision I was just trying to make the right decision for everything. And I was going through a lot, and we were going through a lot. And I was also dealing with the way Abba is. And I decided to react to him because of how he always acts. So to me, I was like fighting back.
What was that in
And
response to specifically? Like, why?
he blocked me. He
He
blocked me, and I
blocks
was
you all the
like,
time. Why was it that block that sent you?
because I was pregnant. And I'm like, so I'm pregnant, but he also does it all the time, as you can see in my example. So he does it all the time. And then I'm like, not again. He's doing it again during the pregnancy. And I
Was that the first
understand
time he
that
blocked you while you were pregnant?
no, we had a few fights and he's blocked me.
So every time y'all fought, he blocked you pretty much.
He will block you for anything. He will block you, yeah.
But like, I guess I don't want to put words in your mouth, but from what it sounds to me is like you're in this, dire situation because you're pregnant. You're trying to make like a life altering decision, and you need to speak to him, to get his perspective on things because he's half of the baby or whatnot, but he blocked you, so it prevents you from reaching out to him.
Yeah, exactly. And then I do what I do, and in my head at the time I'm thinking like I'm not really going to blackmail him, but it's just to get his attention. But there's a reason why I never left that out, is because I felt like, to be honest, I didn't feel like it was that bad because I knew at the time I wasn't going to do it, and I never did. But another question that people have is like, you weren't going to do it at the time, but then why are you coming out now and doing all this? And the truth is that there was a buildup with ABBA that I was experiencing of this constant treatment that I've tried to explain to you before, like the treatment that was in the video, and our last interaction. And so the reason why I'm coming out with it now is because the treatment was probably that bad. And that's all I can say, and be honest, is like I needed to tell my truth this time. And how he just doesn't know how to respond in the way he portrays or the way he preaches or everything that he preaches online.
So you're calling out the hypocrisy.
There is hypocrisy there, yeah. But yeah, there was hypocrisy there, and that's eventually, well, there is hypocrisy there, but that's not the main reason why I did it. Obviously, that's included with what I experienced with him. Ultimately, I felt very wronged. But yeah, that was the reason why I ended up coming out with it in the first place. And then the blackmail that blackmail moment was the only time I tried to blackmail him. He says here that I'm doing all this, like,
he made it seem like you were blackmailing him or trying to, the whole time or for a considerable amount of time.
Yeah, and again, he has not proven any of this, but his exaggeration with all of it, I can't defend myself. The only thing I'm asking him to do is please provide that evidence. Prove the blackmail, prove the harassment, prove, that I was like this super Christian girl, prove everything that he's saying. The only thing that he was able to bring up was the phone call that he had, which was me like apologizing and being remorseful and sorry.
Apologizing about what though?
So the way that phone call had happened was, it was the first phone call after the 4 weeks we didn't talk. And so after the 4 weeks we didn't talk, I was actually really in a dark place because I had the abortion of the week before. And I also did want to talk to Abba because he just ghosted me for 4 weeks, and I'm like wondering, what's going on his head. And I also feel remorse, and I also like still did love him, even if I saw those incompatibilities. So when I talked to him, I knew how much I hurt him for breaking up, when I broke up with him. So when I came to him, I was just like, from the bottom of my heart, I know what we dealt with was something really difficult, and I'm actually apologizing. I didn't handle it right. And I was just trying to let him know that I was sorry. I was saying a lot of things that I felt. So, but he used that very vulnerable moment of me, like, being very emotional, not speaking to him for 4 weeks. And I was just kind of pouring my heart out to him. And he made it sound like it was just another day where I'm like, oh no, I'm wrong for everything. And yeah, I'm sorry for being wrong and like choosing what I did. But it was during a very vulnerable moment of not speaking to him for a long time.
Abba said in the stream that you used suicide against him. He said that you threatened to delete yourself because he threatened to break up with you.
Yeah, this was another thing that he totally misconstrued on his stream. So I have never tried to commit suicide because he broke up with me. The only time it ever got that far was because he would say something like, go kill the baby, or you killed the baby, like, fuck you, you killed the baby. And I do want to add this in there. Before meeting him, my sister got very sick, and I had to go visit her and take care of her. She actually almost passed away. She actually cannot walk anymore. And after that visit, I had this certain view on life where I'm like, why are we even here? What's the meaning of life and stuff like that. I did feel that way, if I'm being honest. And then I met Abba a couple weeks later. And when I met Abba a couple weeks later, I actually wasn't ready to date him at the time because I was feeling this way. Eventually, we just ended up meeting and then we started dating. So he knew my mental health and like the way I viewed life was already in that place, but it got worse after the abortion and during that time of when I got pregnant. And so every time I would even take it there, it was because of what he said about the baby. It was never about him
How
breaking up with
often
me.
did you bring up like
It was 3 times. It was 3 times. And I know that doesn't look right, but I'm just being honest. Mental health is honestly a real thing. And you can say like I'm crazy or I'm bipolar,
well,
but that's what the truth
what
is.
was the context?
And
What were the terms? Because he made it seem like you were threatening to do it because he didn't want to be with you. Right? That's
it
what he
was
did in
never,
that stream, right?
yeah. And he didn't even pull that up. The reason why I did it, I have can I pull
Yeah,
this
go
up?
ahead.
So I have the screenshots here of the moments where I even take it to that level or I start thinking about it. So this was actually the text that he showed on his stream. And this is the text thread where he said, where he pointed out that I said, I'm going to kill the baby. But what he didn't put in there was the reason why. So we got in a huge fight. He said, I blocked your email. He blocked me again. And then I say, okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop contacting you. And then he says,
let me read it. Let me read it. I have no
oh,
idea how to put you into this. I don't understand why you're going to such great lengths to undermine me and tell
oh,
folks
actually,
that
this is the wrong one. I clicked on the wrong one.
I blocked your email. I blocked the new number you're using. Stop contacting me. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop contacting you. Sorry for everything. I get it. Good. Do what you got to do and kill the child. Bye.
Yeah.
What was this in response to?
This was our response to fighting the night before about him coming to visit me. And we were just fighting. And it was just one of our regular fights. And so he blocked me. And it was talking about the abortion and everything like that. And so he says, good, do what you got to do and kill the child. And he already saw how conflicted I was. And so then I go into a spiral of like, this is so embarrassing to show, but I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like life is not really worth living. And then he shows that like I've taken pills. I have these pills I took from my sister. Again, I don't look good, but all I can say is that this is a human response of what I was going through. And he knew that I was going through this mental health stuff. But again, he will say anything to make you, to just hurt you. And then I even say here, and that I'm killing the child too. You're right. So I'm just responding and like mocking what he's saying, like, oh, well, yeah, I'm killing the child too, right? And then we're talking some more. And then he, in the stream, he goes straight to, oh, you'll see this again. I'm going to do what I have to do and kill the baby, LOL. So I'm mocking him.
He showed that. That's what he posted in that stream.
He didn't post this in his stream. I'm showing you that I'm continually.
I just remember that he gave you that text.
Oh yeah. Right here. This is where it is. It's here. I'm going to kill the baby, LOL. And it's because I'm reiterating what he's saying. And so he told me that. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to kill the baby, right? Like you are. I'm just mocking what you're saying to me because that's such a harsh thing to say.
Sure. I can't relate to it, but I can understand the perspective. But regardless of how I feel about it or how anybody feels about it, it all got initiated from him introducing the whole concept of go kill the baby.
Yeah, and I just want to say, like, I understand how this makes me look. The relationship looks toxic. Me feeling this way makes me look a certain way. All I can say is this is a real mental health thing. But Abba said it was because he was trying to break up with me. Oh, he also said that I said I'm going to kill the baby out of nowhere. It was all because he said it first, which was good. do what you got to do, go kill the child. And then that's when I kind of spiral. And then I
Yeah,
also,
you're going through a whole little episode.
yeah, and then I also have this other thing too. I'll show you another example of, there was only 3 times I ever did it, or ever, talked about it. But even like as I'm talking to you now, do you kind of understand me now? Like, do you see where I'm coming from? Like, is it making
Yeah,
sense?
I see where you're coming from. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's a toxic ass relationship.
It's just, yeah,
Right?
at the end of the day, it
Super
was,
toxic ass relationship, man. But the glaring issue, to me at least, is that
mhm,
Abba is not at all who he portrays himself to be. Right? There's plenty of fucking men out here that move this way. But the way Abba portrays himself online is not this way. He's totally against this way. He calls motherfuckers out that move this way. And matter of fact, he's worse than the other
oh,
motherfuckers that I've seen personally that have been called out by the way he's moving with his, pregnant girl, ex-girl, whatever you want to call it, man. Because you
yeah,
know, I feel a way, brother, because I'm a father. You know what I'm saying? Like prior to outside of my issues with Abba. That phone call got to me because I couldn't imagine, letting my children walk around this earth and not knowing who I am, or, not having my influence on them because of my hatred for the mother of the child. That's evil. That don't make no fucking sense because the children are innocent. And there's plenty
yeah,
of fucking fathers out here that, deal with crazy baby mothers, crazy women for the sake of their children. And for any man to come out here and say, if fuck the child because fuck you, condemn the child because of how they see a mother is psychotic to me.
yeah. But again, everyone just saw the narrative that he painted, which he lied about
Yeah.
all of it.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
I
But
don't
even
look.
his narrative is relevant to me because to me that's the bare bones of it, right? Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, and
at the end of the day, like, y'all's dynamic, y'all's inner workings of it is irrelevant to that point because he chose to be with you. He chose to smash. He chose to ejaculate in you. He
yeah,
participated in that, and a life was forming because of it. So regardless of what the fuck was going on, that's his
mm,
responsibility, right? I mean, and had that
yeah,
baby came, and you're gonna disown the baby, condemn the baby because of you. Yeah,
yeah. And a lot of people are going to say because of the back and forth, but ethically, I know I was complicated and I know I was being frustrating, but at the end of the day, what matters is, and what does he have to do now? He has to step up and be the father, or he has to not just totally relinquish his duties as a father. But yeah, if it's not his way, he will not
condemn the
have.
child.
Yeah. What do you see right now, Stevie?
I blocked your email. I blocked the new number.
Oh, no. What do you see right now on the screen?
Yeah, that's what I see. I see the message thread, the
Oh,
one you've been had up here.
oh, okay. So this is another example. Again, it doesn't make me look good. I know how it looks, but we're talking here. But if I mention it, it's cool. Thank you for this
Um,
weekend. Fuck you. You killed our child. I deserved it. I get to bring it up. Thank you. I'm going to self-harm now. But he says that I break up with him. He says that I go to this point because he's breaking up with me. It's only because he says stuff like, fuck you, you killed our child, or go ahead, kill our child. Again, doesn't
it's
make any of it look
trying to
good.
provoke you.
Yeah. And he just totally lied about that. And he just made it seem like I'm going to kill myself because he's breaking up with me, which is not true at all.
In that stream, he conveys it as if he believes you took your life and he's reaching out to everybody and their mama to, go find you. Right.
Because I'm at that point, but because he says stuff like that. And people can say, like, well, why would you take it there? This topic wasn't an easy thing, or this whole situation wasn't an easy thing. It was actually a very hard situation, and he knew how much it would wound me to talk about it, or to say to he knew how much it would wound me to poke fun at it or mention it, especially when we're fighting. And that was the only time that I ever took it there, was when he would talk about the baby. And he has no proof of any other times I would take it there other than him talking about the baby. The baby was really important. The
Baby
baby
fucked
situation.
you up.
It did. It was really messed up. And again, your first trimester is your worst trimester hormonally, how you feel, your body. And then I am debilitated by these choices. I'm trying to do the right thing, and it doesn't look good, but that's what the truth is. But it was because he would always bring up the baby.
I would say you cheated on him from this Instagram profile that you secretly made that you didn't want to share with him, and you said you was talking to, I don't know, did he say he was talking to dudes or just like liking everybody's comments? I don't know, but you said you was cheating on him after the fact though, right?
Yeah.
No.
So
He found the Instagram that you had started while y'all was together, and after y'all broke up, he came across it and found it like you was, more suggestive or whatever, posting more suggestive pictures. I mean, I saw the profile. Personally, there wasn't nothing there, but I think he said that you was like commenting on everybody's messages or liking everybody's messages or whatnot. He tried to paint you as a hoe.
Yeah. So I'm going to start at the beginning of that story. I started that Instagram on January 31st. It was like a week and a half after the abortion. I didn't have many friends or family in the Bay Area, and I was trying to distract myself, and I was trying to just like figure out ways to fill my time. And I was a lot, and I was in a lot of pain.
You was what a lot?
Grieving. I was grieving a lot. I was going through it, and I decided to make an Instagram. And some people choose drugs, or they decide to like sleep with a bunch of people. I chose to just get into an Instagram and see what I can do with that. And I wanted to post my archery stuff. I wanted to do training and everything like that. I started talking to Abba February 4th when he reached out to me. And then shortly after
when you said talking to Abba, this is like y'all reconnecting after y'all fell out.
Yeah, we had reconnected, and then we were talking again. We were trying to see if anything could even be resolved in the first place, but we were trying to get closure. We were trying to figure out, we were trying to get answers out of each other with what exactly happened regarding the abortion. It was just trying to figure stuff out. And
what do you think he would have to say during this period? What would he say during that time? What do you think what do you think he would say that y'all was doing during that time?
To him, he says that we were like fully together. And to me, I'm just going to give him that. I'm just going to say we were acting, we were still acting couple-ish. We were saying like, I love you, good night. We were still trying to see each other, but it was still a very rocky time. And nothing was sorry.
Were y'all exclusive? Y'all were together? Or y'all just reconnected?
To me, I thought we were reconnecting. To him, how he reacted regarding the Instagram, we were actually together. So I'm just going to say we were together. If we're just, I'm just going to say that.
I keep it a being, if based on what you're saying, if I'm Abba in that situation, whether we're connected or we're together, I found out about this Instagram that you're entertaining other dudes, I'm going to have issues with it.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. I thought we were so rocky during that time, and I didn't want to be committed at that time because of what he did. So I was still very hesitant to be in the relationship, but relationships are complicated. You're still going to want each other. Again, there was like this trauma bond there, and we were communicating, and that's exactly what had happened. And that was the status we were in. And so I did talk to him a few times about the Instagram, and I did tell him it was about archery, but I did hide it from everybody. I didn't show my friends or my family. There were
Why?
probably like two, because I was trying out new things, and it was a little out of character in the way where like sometimes you have to talk into the camera. I didn't really want to post, like, I don't usually post like gym stuff on my normal account.
You were trying something new, and you didn't want people that know you judging you based off the new shit you was doing.
Yeah, and I didn't know how it was going to go. And that's all I can say is like a lot of people who start new accounts and are experimenting with it, they just like block everybody.
When
And
I heard him say you was hiding it, and the way he portrayed it was like he was doing some whole shit on there, like, you know, posting thirst traps, and you didn't want him to see. But I seen the Instagram account. There's nothing on there, even with the way he was like describing it and shit. Like, you, maybe
yeah, I saw some.
it was counter of what he thought of you, but you know, in a vacuum, it wasn't shit on that fucking Instagram. But in regards to you, you know, entertaining dudes or liking comments or whatever, what's up with that?
Mhm. I'm actually going to pull it up. I think it's important that people see this actually. Let me find it. Did I tell you Abba called me after and before the stream?
His stream?
Yeah,
But did you talk to him
I did actually. First, he
before
said, "Do you
and
want to?"
after?
I texted him before, and he texted me, and he was like, "Are you sure you want to go through with this?" He's like, "I would hate for it to continue." And then I was like, I didn't respond to that. I said something like, I wouldn't have ever done this unless I wouldn't have ever done this. But our last interaction was pretty fucked up, and I was tired of being treated this way. And then he called me, and then I didn't answer. And then he called me after the stream, and I actually answered the phone, and he was recording the phone call, but he was acting crazy. And when I answered the phone, I was actually like, what the heck? And I just got nervous, and I like started, like, I smiled and I like laughed a little bit. It was just me being nervous. And or I was just like this. I was like smiling like this, like, I can't believe I'm talking to you, like, after we're going through this. And he recorded that. And I think he might use that. But he's like, you're laughing after this. He's like, you're laughing after you just made an expose on me. And I was like, Abba, you know, it's not like that. I was like, I just didn't know how to react. I haven't seen you. And we're like, why are you calling me after all this? So it was just like a weird moment. And then he was like, you're sick and you're disgusting. But again, that's how he talks.
Yeah.
So, but I'm like, I know how to respond. But it's so silly that sorry, let me find this. Text rather than find you. I have to scroll up. 2K might help. I have to find this. Okay, right here. What was the last thing we were talking about, Stevie? What was the last thing? Why was I commenting on stuff, right?
Yeah.
So what he saw was me hearting every single comment, because when I was trying to build the page and just like get some traction, I was like looking on ChatGPT, like, what's the best way to get engagement? And it said respond to all the comments. And so there's just 100 comments, and I'm responding hearts or thank yous or like ha-has to all of them. And I think that's different than, you know, I feel like it would be more like cheating if I was responding to like one guy or like one hot guy in the comments, but it's all of them. I'm responding to all of the comments. And this is what I sent him. I sent him this. So this was the actual screenshot I sent him. It says first 0 to 30 minutes critical window. reply to every
Oh, this
comment.
is an actual ChatGPT thread.
Yeah, and I showed him.
So
And I was like,
hold on. So you sent this to bro,
mhm.
and then he goes on stream and says that you're entertaining dudes after you've telling him why you're doing what
Yeah,
you're doing on Instagram.
yeah. So this is our actual text thread where he's like calling me all these horrible things, and then I'm like trying to show him proof, right? So he keeps sending me the same picture of me hearting comments. It's the same picture, him talking a lot of smack or like just belittling me. And then I'm like, Abba, I tried to explain this to him multiple times in the chat, and then I finally sent him this. And it says, reply to every comment immediately. And then he's like, if chat told me to talk to other girls to go viral, I wouldn't do that if I'm in a relationship. So yeah,
No,
so
but hold on. That's just unreasonable. I'm putting myself in Abba's shoes. You know what I mean? And if pretty much you treating this account like a hobby business account, you want to blow it up or whatever, right? I don't know, to get your mind off things or whatnot.
yeah, I'm just trying to see what I can do with it.
Yeah. So if I see the profile, if I see the account and what you got going on there, there's no thirst traps. There's no thirst traps.
Everyone was saying that it's pretty
There's no
slutty.
thirst traps. It's just you trying to get engagement to blow the account up, right?
Yeah, and I did intentionally try to not make it too out of character. It was a little out of character for what Abba saw, and I think that's why it triggered Abba so much. And
But
that's why he
regardless, that's stupid. That's
okay.
stupid. That's stupid. That's stupid. He's just I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck to call that, man, because you showed him pretty much what it was. And it's like you're not giving any. I don't know. I didn't get to see the comments to those
It's
posts,
just
but it's like you're not giving any personal comment. You just liking shit. You're just hearting shit, right?
yeah, look, this is exactly what he sends me, heart. Like I'm just responding hearts to everything. And again, I was during the month of February, I'm like trying to get my mind off things and everything. And I also sent him this. I because he was like, "Oh, you're just trying to be an IG baddie, or like you're an IG slut now." And this interaction here was actually my last straw because he ends up calling me a bunch of things. Like I'll just pull it up. I wanted to pull it up. Look what he sends me. He says, your new IG ended up on my For You page. To be honest, seeing it was pretty surprising. I understand why you hid it from me. I never hid it from him. I just never showed anybody. You weren't honest about what it was, considering the comments you made about who I followed. I only asked him to follow one girl. It was not that Dominican girl. It was an Asian girl
You
that was
asked him
like,
not to follow one girl.
yeah, it was just one girl, and it was an Asian girl that was like twerking, but he
Oh,
made it sound like I was so jealous.
yeah.
I wasn't. He was lying about like a lot of stuff. And then he was also talking about how I followed a bunch of guys on my profile. He said Facebook, but I think he meant to say Instagram. I follow like 260 people on my Instagram. I haven't been on my Facebook. I've been on there to like sell things, but everyone that I follow, the 260 people I follow are people that I actually know.
Yeah.
And they're like friends from high school and everything like that. But I just want to show you. He's like, maybe Preach was right and the abortion never happened, which I showed you proof of. Maybe you were never pregnant either. I don't know. He knew I was pregnant. I showed him that proof also. I really dated a vile person this whole time. I
Vile
did
person because of what? Because of the Instagram account?
because of the Instagram. Yeah. I woke up to all of these messages. And if you can see here, he's just responding to it's all the hearts. He's just pictures of all the hearts.
Yeah, you're just jealous over the attention you're getting on Instagram.
And I'm going to say that I think he was just shocked by seeing his ex-girlfriend and being like, oh, she's acting out of character a little bit. We're after the breakup. And the page actually ends up doing well. I didn't expect that to go well. And honestly, I'm not even showing a lot for it to even go that well. So I think it just like, honestly, I think he was just like being, and I think he got in his feelings a little bit. If you feel bad, feel free to send me every penny I ever spent on your whoring self. There's another 10,000, almost 10,000. And then I'm like, I'll send it back to you. I don't know if I mentioned this also. It was never about money. Did I mention this already? When we departed, or when we said our final goodbye, I actually sent him another $2,000 just to say thank you. I have an audio of that. Because I didn't. It
No,
was never about.
you said that on one of the phone calls. He said, "I'll give you $1,000 to like something." And he said, "You
Yeah,
said no, I sent you 2,000." He said, "I'll send you 3,000." I think he's saying he was gonna send you money for you to leave him alone or some shit.
but I actually sent him another 2K when we broke up, just to say thank you for like paying for all the flights and everything like that. I have the audio for that if you think that's important. I don't know if you think that's important, but Abba, when I made the page, I was in the worst place. I haven't slept, so sorry about that.
It's all good. I don't gotta explain that.
Okay. You had me blocked and I was alone. I respond to the comments because that's what chat said to do in the algorithm. I was being experimental. I was playing the game, and I meant it like when it was all a cope. Like I was coping the abortion, the breakup, and this is what I do. Still lying, just send the money. And
hold on. Let me read this. Still go back up there. Still lying, just send the money. Go back. Still lying, just send the money. You'll always have anxiety and panic attacks because you're lying to yourself at this point. But deep down, you know. So just send the money. It'll help you feel a bit better, and I'll think a little better of you. I'm gonna go back to blocking you until I see money in my PayPal. We'll leave it that way. I don't feel like reading a million more lies from a cheating attention whore. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I love you.
I love you. I still do to this day. I think about you. One thing I realized though was that you will always laugh and feel like I deserve this kind of pain. So many instances I have just begged you to not block me or believe me, and I look so pathetic. I love you and I always will. I have to believe you enjoy seeing me like this.
Yeah.
I can't keep punishing myself anymore. I can't keep hearing you talk to me this way. I can't not have respect for myself anymore because I always really did care about you. And I know you know that. I have to get myself out of this mindset.
Yeah, and then he says, okay, cheater. And then I also sent him this where this is not, I just wanted to send him this to show him that like I'm not interested in anybody else. This football player does DM me, and I'm sending this to my friend who actually likes this football player. And
hold on,
he
so
says,
this is a football player that messaged you?
Yeah, and then I sent it to
you copied the thread and sent it to your friend?
Yeah, because he likes this football player. So I was like, oh, like look what happened.
Oh, your friend is gay?
Yeah, he's gay. My bestie, Chris.
Oh, so okay, I got you. Bro hopped in the DMs and you sent the shit to your gay friend that likes him. Okay. Niners football player. Ooh, get us out from the hood. LMAO not interested. I won't date for a while.
And then I sent him this also. I won't date him. I won't date for a while. I really loved ABBA. I'm gonna pay reverence to that relationship. I have zero interest to anybody. And this was sorry, I have zero interest in anyone, to be honest. I'm trying to read fast because people have made fun of how slow I talk. So
fuck everybody, bro.
Yeah, I know. But I sent him this, and then I also sent him these two screenshots saying that like I think I'm gonna quit the content stuff. I don't think it's my thing. I don't know if you can read that. It says here, I think I'm gonna quit the content stuff. I don't think it's my thing. The social media thing isn't for me. Haha. I feel indifferent when I post. So I'm just always trying to validate. And then I sent him another screen recording of a girl.
You're sending him all this shit to prove to him that you're not how he's portraying you. He's fucking spit all this fucking venom at your ass, his vitriol, and you're giving him proof that you're not what he thinks you are.
Yeah, and before this phone call, I am actually a pretty agreeable person, and I don't like conflict. When he sent me all of this stuff, he blocked me. So the first few messages that you saw, he actually blocked me, and then I went to his Facebook, and I felt the need to explain, and I was like, I'm sorry, I know you must feel hurt. And then I was blaming myself. I was like, I'll delete it. And then at one point I was like, I'm sorry if you feel like I lied. But that's how I am in our dynamic. And honestly, it isn't, I realized like I can't be that agreeable, but didn't want to get him mad. And again, that's like something that I need to work on. But so that's what I'm doing here. I sent him a picture of another girl who started around the time I did. She had a lot of traction. Also, we get in contact with each other and we're like, I talked to this girl and she says that she responds to everything too. If you look at her comments, sure.
He don't give a fuck. He don't give a fuck what you say. He already has it made up in his mind of how you are. It doesn't matter what you say.
This is all of our conversations. When I would try to explain something, he's always talking over me. It's just like the phone call. So this was always my interaction with him, big or small. And so this was actually the catalyst to where I'm like, I can't believe he's treating me like this again over this Instagram. And I'm sending him all this proof that it's not, I'm just doing it.
Let me ask you something, man, because you know, we've only went over like the negative shit. For the life of me right now, just speaking to you this long about Abba and pretty much how he spits on you pretty much metaphorically. Like he's holier than thou compared to you. Why would you even like the fact you entertaining being with him post the abortion is psychotic to me. But like what was it there that made you even stick fucking 5 months out?
I always tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. And so I keep saying this, that this was the catalyst that made me want to say something, was because I was always enduring this kind of treatment, big or
From
small.
Day one?
Always, yeah. Of course, the first few months, they're not going to really show this. But after I tried so hard to make sure that things are okay, after experiencing all the stuff I experienced with him, he comes back 3 weeks later and just streams my messages telling me I'm a whore, I'm a slut, and that he wants all of his money back, that I'm pathetic. Everything that you saw, even in here, it's like, it's why your clothes are skin tight and your ass and tits are showing. And I just keep on saying that I'm, like, I don't deserve to be treated like this anymore. And I'm just like standing up for myself. And then he keeps like ha-haing my stuff. And I was like, we weren't together for the month of February. You canceled our flights and like Valentine's Day. Again, I'm going to give it to him. We like say we were together. And so I'm still providing like all this proof that it's a hobby or like it's just something I'm getting into. And he's a content creator. And I feel like he would be able to like understand how like the machine works, like the social media machine works. And he's not listening to anything. He keeps sending me the same picture and he keeps calling me like a cheating whore. And but I find out, oh yeah, he says, yeah, I bet it's not for you entertaining thousands of men, but you did it for 2 months. And I'm like, I deserve better while we're together. This is so interesting because I get a DM this morning on Instagram, and I actually find out that Abba was cheating on me that whole time. And I actually found out that she was pregnant and he blocked her and she had an abortion. And it was the same way. And I do have a recording of it.
Hold on. Somebody called you today?
Yeah, this morning. Today is May 10th, and a girl DM'd me because she was dating Abba. She saw the video and she DM'd me because she was dating him during this time.
You got her on FaceTime with her or what?
Yeah, she called me. She was explaining everything. She said that she felt bad for me, that she went through the exact same thing.
She let you record?
Yeah, I asked her. Yeah, I asked her, and we're actually still in contact and talking about everything. But she really helped me out. She said that she experienced so many of the same things that I explained with Abba. I have the whole phone call, but I'm gonna show you what I have here.
Okay. Let
me pull that up. Honestly, that was a hard pill to swallow for me, realizing that he was actually physically sleeping with someone January, February, and March, right after he blocked me for the abortion. Right after he blocked me after the breakup.
I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because that's some shit. Because the motherfucker give you all this shit. He all this shit calling you a whore, this, that, and the third, because you got a fucking IG account to, like, you know, cope, get your mind off shit, and yet bro out here slinging dick and get a bitch pregnant while he with you.
Yeah, she saw the video and she was like, I can't believe you did the same thing to this girl that you did to me, and you're allowing all of this slander with her. Sorry, I'm taking a second because I'm trying to find how to do this again. So this is the girl that I get in contact with. She says she was also dating Abba, and we call like,
Of course you know her name, but are we able to know her name or not?
no, no. So I don't know what you saw, but Stevie, can you also like blur this part out?
Yeah,
Like,
of course. Yeah,
and
yeah.
part, yeah. She doesn't want to be.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, she contacts me, and I literally have this conversation with her this morning. Hey, girl, can you hear me?
Hello. Yeah, I do. I'm sorry. I was talking to Abba and it really fucked me up, actually.
What happened?
My friend was saying it was like really gaslighting, wasn't it? It was so chopped it off. But like she was really sad when I told her that we were talking in March. She was like, apparently you had told her that she was a whore for having Instagram in March. But we were having.
You don't know that whole story. You don't know what that's about. So just don't bring that up. You don't know.
January, March, you were still all this time talking to her. That's weird. If I don't want to talk to someone, I just want to go anywhere.
You don't understand the whole context.
Hold on, press pause, Libby. So this is the girl that Abba was dealing with, but she just recorded a conversation with somebody on her phone, and she's letting you hear it.
So she contacts me.
Uh-huh.
So she saw the video today. She then emails Abba. She has to email Abba because Abba blocked her off the phone too. She has to email Abba and tell her, what is this video? I can't believe like you're letting her go through all this. Like I experienced the same stuff with you. Like something like that. Like she's getting mad at him for me.
Yeah.
And so he calls her actually. And while she's talking to me on this Instagram, where like, this is what I'm experiencing, and I'm experiencing, this is what I'm experiencing, and she's talking about what she's experiencing. Abba calls her because of that email. And so he's trying to explain what's going on. And she tells him like, I'm in contact with your ex and you're making her seem like she's crazy. And you're making her seem, you're allowing her to.
I get it. We're reminded because when I'm watching it right here, I don't see her lips moving, speaking back to the phone. It sounds like she's just holding.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, she recorded. So I had to end the phone call. So she recorded the phone call.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she's not on the phone right now. She recorded the phone. Yeah, and you can tell it's current because she's talking.
No, I get it. I just wanted to make it make sense. I hear Abba on the fucking phone. I mean, so.
Okay, yeah. So she's on the phone because she recorded it that morning.
So you're on a video call with her, and she's letting you hear the conversation she had with Abba.
She just had it. Yeah, she called me back and she's like, "You need to listen to our conversation."
All right, rewind it and play it again.
Hey, girl, can you hear me?
Hello. Yeah, I do. I'm sorry. I was talking to Abba and it really fucked me up, actually.
What happened?
My friend was saying it was like really gaslighting, wasn't it? It was so chopped it off. But like she was really sad when I told her that we were talking in March. She was like, apparently you had told her that she was a whore for having Instagram in March. But we were having.
You don't know that whole story. You don't know what that's about. So just don't bring that up. You don't know.
January, March, you were still all the time talking to her. That's weird. If I don't want to talk to someone, I can go anywhere.
You don't even understand the whole context.
But I just came on YouTube and the first video was like, what happened? And I recognized your face from his like phone gallery and him telling me that he had a really toxic ex. And I listened to the story and it's like, oh, you got an abortion and you were blocked. So I was like, oh, I also got an abortion and I was blocked. So how funny how that just seems to be a pattern. And he doesn't want to apologize for that. Like he doesn't own up to anything. On my birthday, that he loved her.
You would get involved. I mean, some people just kind of done this part, you know, some other person.
I asked you, are you feeling the content there? And you said no. I remember it when we were talking. She said to me, "This is the first time I feel heard."
Yeah, so that's a clip. I'm
Yeah, it's hard to hear that towards the end it's all choppy. But you got it all clipped up. Like, where do you have the full conversation recorded?
I have the full conversation recorded, and she's gonna let me post that too.
Okay, all right. Well, make sure you send me the link so then I could. Once you post it, I'll just include it with this so everybody can peep the whole shit because it was kind of hard to hear.
No, honestly, towards the end of the audio, even on my side, because it's like audio over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like electronic over electronic. It was hard to pick up my computer. It was hard to pick up the audio. So
moral of the story, I was a piece of shit.
Yeah, so I find out that he is yelling at me saying I'm a cheater during this time when he literally was
had another girl pregnant or was dealing with a girl that he got pregnant at some point.
And yeah, so that was kind of hurtful to hear, but yeah, and again, the Instagram thing was just like my last straw of this constant treatment and this pattern. And I was like, I have to say something. He is honestly, he's just not anything he betrays. And then I find out this girl he was totally sleeping with this girl and flying her out while he's calling me a whore for creating an Instagram. Yeah.
Because he thinks you're his girl.
Yeah, and it shows that he's very inconsistent.
No, he's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. He's a liar. He's a piece of shit. Right? Yeah, you're out here cheating on you. Another girl's pregnant while he's dealing with you, and then going to sit in here and call you a whore. This, that, and the third. While you doing everything under your power, under the sun, to convince him that you are not what he thinks you are. But he's,
literally.
And that's just what you know. He could be doing shit with other. And I ain't gonna put that shit out there. That sound like a fucking hater. But I'm not a hater. I call it like I see it. I know I was a snake, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's tough, bro. That's a lot, man. That's a lot, especially considering you were pregnant. And at the end of the day, like, both of y'all had y'all's faults throughout the whole situation. I'm not.
It was a messy situation.
It's like both a toxic relationship, man. But at the end of the day, I was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So
and I did feel like I endured a lot. I feel like I took a lot of the beating, to be honest, and he just makes me sound crazy and narcissistic and like I'm bipolar. And I know that there are things in there that can make me seem a little off, but I think you can see how immature and how volatile.
I can see it. Hopefully everybody else can see it. I mean, I'm curious to see how they defend this man cheating on you, or not even. I don't. Whatever.
She has a baby with him.
Yeah.
She gets pregnant, and she's also blocked by him. Yeah. So that's the other reason why she reached out to me. She was like, "I can't believe you let another girl go through this."
Yeah. One more question I forgot to get to.
Yeah.
Clearly, there's people out here saying that you reached out to multiple creators trying to paint a narrative about Abba to put your message out there.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Is that true? Yeah, is that true? And then who'd you reach out to?
I did reach out to content creators, but the way Watts TV specifically was trying to make it sound like I was trying to pay him to send or to paint this narrative. I was reaching out to content creators who know about, like, this is your guys' lane. And so I was really asking for an opinion. And so this was the message that I sent Watts, and this is what he's talking about. And this is what I sent the other content creators also.
Who all did you send messages to? You said Watts?
Watts TV. Yeah, we talked about Watts
I don't
D.
even know what the fuck that is. Watts TV, and not sure what happened, but didn't see what you said. What was it? You started a chat with
Oh,
Watch TV.
so this is one of the content creators who was really trying to say that I was trying to pay him to release those videos of ABBA. So this is how it started. Not sure what happened, but didn't see what you said because I wanted to reword my message. I said, hey, I deleted because I keep going back and forth on how much I wanted to share. I did not want to compensate for your time. I did want to compensate for your time if you helped me. I probably need about 1.5 hours of your time. I said something low earlier, but I really need a thoughtful response, and I feel that's worth more. Would 300 be good for about 1.5 to 2 hours of your time to just review some things I have? I'm unsure if I wanted it to go out publicly with what I experienced, or if I even have enough evidence. I was ABBA's ex-girlfriend from ABBA and Preach. And question, why come to me specifically? I'm subscribed to you and I have seen you cover their stuff. I need someone who knows ABBA's personality. Oh, and I'm not asking you to post this or advocate for me. I just need an opinion on the clips that I have. Gotcha. Well, feel free to send me what you have. And then I ended up just sending him the videos that I have. I said, sorry, it took me a while. It took me a while to get these. He told me ultimately no. And he saw the videos and he interpreted it the way everyone did. Without
I watched both videos. I'm not comfortable talking about this for content. By the way, this is not me invalidating your experience, but I am aware that there are two sides to every story, but I do want to offer some advice. If I were you, I would not post these. I have seen your receipts and people could determine that there is a lot of context that is missing from the text messages that you have shown. For example, he said you cheated and your response was that that's not true. You can't expect people to simply trust your word. People are going to wonder why ABBA made that claim, and I'm not saying that it's true or that it isn't true. I just want to tell you how it may be perceived. That's just one small example. This seemed like a rough breakup and it seems like you're really hurt, and I get it. However, if you post this, I think it's going to do more harm than good. I don't know if you're prepared for the onslaught that would be headed your way. For your peace, I would generally try to move on unless you're trying to get something else out of revealing all of this. Also, I wouldn't send this to anyone else. I'm assuming I'm not the only one creator that you have sent this to. I appreciate you feeling some level of trust with me when it comes to this info, but I would really take everything that I said into consideration. I mean, it sounds like he's being honest with you, man, but he
was being honest, he interpreted the way everyone did, and I know.
But he said that you were trying to paint a narrative.
He made multiple videos on this, and he was on ABBA and Preach's page, and he's in your comments all the time too, saying like basically that I'm wrong and that I tried to pay him to send this out there. And again, this is the same message I sent to the other.
He was asked for his.
Yeah, I never asked anyone to send it out there. I asked Young Don.
You were trying to get an unbiased opinion.
Yeah, is his name Young Don Reacts? He actually posted my message to him too, and it said the exact same thing. It was. Did
he paint the same narrative?
No, he was actually the only fair person I felt like saw a little bit of, what I was going through. And I actually really appreciated that. But he even he posted the message and he said, I don't think she's trying to do anything malicious. I think she really needed some counsel. He said that I shouldn't have done it either. And honestly, again, I'm not looking for a W. As long as things are seen a little bit more clearly, like I was happy with that. And the reason why I reached out to content creators too is because like this is their lane, and my family or my friends, the few friends that know about my experience with ABBA, they wanted me to do it. So I was getting all yeses from them, and then I was just trying to see. I was like, okay, they don't really know much about this world, and so that's why I reached out. And I think, I felt like I was trying to be just cautious, but yeah. I said, hi, yes, thanks for watching. And yes, I did not expect you to talk about this for content. I wouldn't ask that. I reached out initially for an opinion, which you gave me. So thank you for that. I came in knowing people are going to wonder who I am and what ABBA's side was. I thought about everything you mentioned before even thinking to share this. And I wouldn't go out with these if I knew Abba would have anything to use or to refute. Abba has not shown much evidence other than his words against me. Yeah. There is a third short video regarding the cheating statement, which is all the Instagram stuff I told you, and it turns out he was cheating. There's a third short video regarding the cheating statement that would come full circle. We had broken off completely. I waited until my emotions settled. I'm grieving the abortion, but I am not hurt about the breakup. I will take everything you say into consideration. I hear you, but yeah, just tread lightly, but wish you nothing for the best. Yeah, he talks a lot of crap about me online, which is okay.
Hold on. Let me. I want to see. Hold on.
His video got a lot of traction, and so all you're seeing in the comments is that I tried to pay content creators to do this, and so of course people are going to see the comments and then they're just going to believe that. So all the comments are, she tried to pay people, but Don,
you're simply paying for their time. You're being considerate for someone you don't fucking know to spend an hour or two with you speaking about this shit. That makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, I was trying to pay them for their time, and I was just asking for their opinion, and it didn't come off that way, I guess.
Oh man, Abba got some dick suckers out here, boy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. This is that's what I'm. Yeah. So you already said like you empathize.
I'm trying to give entertaining or trying to see the other perspective, right? This is a woman that's coming in here trying to defame my Lord and Savior Abba. So, the narrative is, women out here trying to, burn men, which I get, right? Which is fine. But to blatantly lie about what it is that you asked of him, there's nothing in here that even suggests painting a narrative. I'm only asking for an opinion.
Yeah, he posted this too, and the comments were, dang, like, she really tried to pay you. Like, it was just all like, I can't believe she did that. And this was a sincere.
Oh, he posted this whole thread, and they still think that you were trying to pay him to paint a narrative?
Yeah.
Damn.
I posted this on my Instagram too. No one's really listened. Sorry, not my Instagram. I posted this on my channel. No one's even hearing what I have to say. It's just all hate, which is what it is. But yeah, I was genuinely coming for advice, and I wanted to pay for their time.
All right. Well, let's see where this goes, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much else, like how much more proof, we need that I'm such a liar, or like.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I get it. You got to do what you got to do. All right. All right. Well, okay. I'm gonna get this all wrapped up, and then we'll get it done.
There was one other thing. Preach said that I reached out to him, and Preach said
that who reached out to him?
I reached out to Preach. Remember, a few days after the breakup, and he said on the stream, like, I came at him like super off, like I was trying to use him. I have the audio that I sent him, and I feel like it was actually super sweet. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Preach. I had the last
few hours to
think about a few things.
Hold on, let me. It always says that. Stop.
Hey, Preach. I had the last few hours to think about a few things, and I think I have a little bit more clarity about what I need to do moving forward. And again, my reach out to you was just my final attempt to reach out to anything to try to find some ground on what the right thing to do is regarding the baby. And so I just do want to leave Abba with this one thing. And it was, I told him I do care about his future and his peace. And I meant that. And there were a lot of things that happened. And I don't want to leave him thinking that there's I have anything in my phone that I would use or put out there. I had a knee-jerk reaction to record a pretty brutal phone call a few days ago and to kind of document some messages based off of how I felt like I was being treated. But he doesn't have to worry about me having that. There's nothing in me that would ever want to disrupt his life, to be honest, despite me being hurt. And I don't mean this in a passive aggressive way at all. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. So again, he doesn't even have to worry about anything existing regarding that stuff. And again, my last attempt to just figure out some clarity, and I think I have that. So thanks.
So I do want to say something. So obviously I ended up coming out with this. I said that there was a lot of stuff in my phone I wouldn't come out with. But again, the reason why I ended up doing this was because I was treated like this constantly. Or I was treated the way I was treated by Abba constantly. And I just always forgave. And I just took that. And again, I tried so hard to make sure everything ended the right way. And you can see how, he gets. And then he comes around and then talks all this stuff about me being a whore and everything like that. And so a few months later, I'm like, no, I have to use this. So, but at the time I did mean it, but over time,
you got pushed to the limit.
It was a buildup, but at the time I really did mean it. And
but your purpose in highlighting this is to go against the narrative that Preach painted in regards to how he perceived you, right? He said that you were speaking to him crazy.
Yeah, he said that I came at him super off and like I was trying to use him. And I was coming off really respectful. Even when you look back at the message that I sent where it says like, hey, Preach, this is Abba's girlfriend. I was coming off respectful. And sorry, I had to say this also. Abba said in that thread that, why are you telling people I'm your girlfriend? I was his girlfriend at the time. I guess it was just like one day after the breakup. And so I'm not sure if Preach knows we had broken up. So that's why I said like, hey, I'm Abba's girlfriend. But that's why Abba was like, oh, why are you saying you're my girlfriend? Like I'm a crazy stalker or something. Yeah. So, but yeah, that was the audio that I sent. Now I feel different. Now I do feel pushed. Yeah. And so that's why I ended up doing it. But that was the audio at the time that I sent. And he said that I was just super off and like super weird about it. What do you think about that?
I mean, I don't think I saw Preach say that. So it's going to resonate with the audience that did see it. But I mean,
no, he was talking mad shit on me.
Yeah.
I was actually pretty hurt. Yeah. That was like one thing I was hurt about because Preach is like cool, you know?
Yeah. So, it sounded like he used to Abba being crazy, but Preach always is cool. So he sounded.
Yeah. Preach was calling me a succubus, a witch, like that I'm super stupid. It was hard to hear from Preach, actually. But go ahead. What were you going to ask?
I was going to say something separate because I'm thinking about old girl with the other pregnancy, right? Because I remember in the stream, Abba said that, you know, his nuts don't work, right? And first of all, he said that that's the, not to get into personal business, but it's already out there. That was the reason why y'all was having unprotected sex because he believed he wasn't fertile.
Yes.
Yeah. So that, I mean, he got a whole nother girl pregnant. Like, I don't know how that makes sense.
Yeah. So the girl that talked to me, so we recorded a long phone call, but the audio cut off. So I guess the audio was picking up. So we hopped back on and I hope I have it, but she was telling Abba was telling her that he couldn't, that he has a low sperm count because of the medication. And then he ended up telling her like, oh, I'm not taking the medication anymore. And she was like, what the fuck? She went back to Switzerland. She's like, I'm pregnant. And so Abba told me the same thing that his I think we should have it in there. I don't know if you should.
His nuts don't work. That's what he's telling you because it's a medication.
He got 2 girls pregnant. It's kind of funny. If I hope she added it in. I don't want to ask her for too much, to be honest, but I
Yeah.
hope I got a clip because we did record a little bit more, and then Abba called, and then we had to just stop and talk about what Abba was saying. But yeah, do you think that's important?
What, the sperm shit?
Like, yeah, like him saying that, or does it look like he's just lying?
It just makes him look stupid. It doesn't do anything for anybody. I mean, it makes him look less credible because he's out here, you know, slinging his dick recklessly when he's out here trying to tell men how to move.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
All right. Good night, Stevie. Thank you so much.
Of course. Why not?
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.